NASCAR's San Diego Street Race has officially become the main character this weekend, and what beautiful timing! You don't spend 2 years planning a race on an active military base just to have people treat it like Sonoma with different scenery. Think about what we're talking about here. Cup cars racing through Naval Base Coronado, runways, tarmacs, concrete walls, military aircraft sitting in the background, drivers touring the San Diego all week. The whole thing feels less like a race weekend and more like NASCAR accidentally wandered onto the set of a summer blockbuster. Now, the fan reaction has been pretty interesting. Most people seem excited, not necessarily because they think the racing is guaranteed to be amazing. Nobody knows that yet. Actually, that's part of the appeal. Nobody has notes, nobody has years of data, nobody has 10 setup sheets sitting in a file cabinet from previous races. Everybody's showing up kind of blind, and that means somebody's going to unload fast, somebody's going to miss it completely, somebody's going to stuff it into a wall that costs more than my house. That's where the curiosity comes from. But there's definitely another side to this too, because every time NASCAR adds something like this, there's a portion of the fan base asking the same question. Cool, but what are we giving up? And honestly, I understand that argument. If this was any random year on the calendar, you could absolutely make the case that this date belongs to a short track or an intermediate, or literally anywhere that allows cars to race side by side without needing a civil engineer's approval. I get it. If we're going back to the old hell yeah NASCAR model, everybody keeps talking about, then places like Rockingham, Iowa, Bristol, Homestead, places like that are always going to have supporters, and they're not wrong. But here's where I land on it. This isn't any random year. It's America's 250th birthday celebration, and if you're going to do something different, this is probably the year to do it, because unlike some of NASCAR's previous attempts at creating a spectacle, this one actually feels like it has a reason to exist. That's important. The best events feel organic. The worst ones feel like somebody in a conference room needed a PowerPoint presentation to explain why they're cool. This one doesn't really need much explanation. Race cars, military base, kickoff to the 4th of July weekend, America's 250th. People kind of understand the assignment. I watched some of the UFC coverage tied into the celebration, and truly, it was done pretty tastefully. It felt like an event, and that's what NASCAR is chasing here, not just a race, an event. Because let's be real, the schedule already has races. What NASCAR wants is moments. Chicago was a moment. The Clash in the Coliseum was a moment. Some worked better than others. Some probably cost somebody a few years of their life expectancy, but people remembered them. That's the gamble here, because this thing could be incredible, or it could turn into an absolute circus. And if we're being honest, there's probably not much room in between. You've got street course walls, military base logistics, 39 cup drivers, no meaningful race history, no real notebook, no margin for error. That's either a recipe for greatness or a 6-hour meeting Monday morning. And that's why people are paying attention. Not because it's a perfect idea, not because everybody agrees with it, but because for once, nobody actually knows what's going to happen. And in a sport where we spend half the season pretending we know exactly what's going to happen, that's kind of refreshing. Thanks so much for watching. And while you're here, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like and bell icon to support the channel.